Welcome everyone, and thank you for watching. I'm Ken Cara. Back in the summer of 1962, Scotty Smalls got heavily ridiculed by his friends because he had no idea who the Great Bambino was. It really caused a lot of trouble for the kids at the Sandlot that summer. If you have no idea what I'm talking about before you get heavily ridiculed by your friends, make sure you stream the movie The Sandlot. Well, here in 2024, there's a lot of us living just like Smalls because we have no idea that the Great Bambino, the Sultan of Swat, the King of Crash, the Colossus of Clout, Babe Ruth himself, made history right in our backyard. Brian Hauntz has been playing softball for around 15 years, and before that he was a baseball player in the Wyoming Valley. As he gets older, he tries to run as little as possible when he's playing. That's one of the reasons he signed up for this event. You see, one of the best ways to limit your running in softball is to hit dingers, and today Hauntz is really launching them in this home run derby. Tell me about your strategy.
With the wind blowing out right now, you pretty much just want to get it up into the air. Let the wind take it. Try not to get as much topspin on the ball so it doesn't come down, and just let the big dog eat.
Hauntz's launching point is very close to the landing spot for a famous home run that was hit back in 1926. How do I know that? Well, because the one and only Babe Ruth hit that home run. And there's a kiosk that tells the whole story right where his ball came to a rest. Since this is television, you don't have to read what happened. We'll let Alan Stout, the executive director of Visit Luzerne County, tell the story.
On October 12th, 1926, a couple days after the World Series, Babe Ruth was doing a barnstorming game. That's what the players used to do to get some exposure for the league and make a few extra dollars off season. And he came through Wilkes-Barre for an exhibition game here at Artillery Park, right across the street here.
Okay.
And he hit a ball that landed pretty much right where we're standing right now, which is about 650 feet away. And the story goes, and it's been pretty well documented, that it was the only time in his career that he asked the ball to be measured. So even he impressed himself with that one. You know, if they had this type of technology that we have here today,
imagine.
you know, where we're exit velocity and distance, it probably would have broke the machine.
If you're saying, how do we really know the ball traveled that far back in 1926, you're probably a Red Sox fan. Okay, calm down. I'm a Red Sox fan too, and I asked the same question.
We have a gentleman coming here today, Bill Jenkinson, who wrote a book about Ruth, and there's like a large passage of his book about this particular incident, or event I should say, where it was researched fairly thoroughly, and they know it. That's why the kiosk is over there.
Yeah.
That's exactly where the ball landed. It's an incredible story.
It is an incredible story, and what's crazy is that many people from the area don't know about it. Stout and his team at Visit Luzerne County are trying to change that with this Babe Ruth Sultan of Swat home run derby.
Well, it's not as well known now as it's going to be because this is the start of the first of 3 years we're doing this, and it's really 100 years in 2 years. So we do it today, we'll do it next year, and then finally in 3 years it's going to be the big one. So, but we wanted to start out slow, and that's why the big part of this is going to be the challenge between the city and the county. And I don't know if anyone's told you, but if the city loses, I have to wear a New York Yankees uniform to work. If the county loses, Ramilda has to wear a Philadelphia Phillies uniform to work.
Ramilda Crocomo is the Luzerne County manager and a lifelong Yankees fan. As a Yankee fan, how cool is it then standing, right here, knowing that history now?
Bambino! It is. It's really wonderful.
If you had to pick a Yankee, past or present, that you'd want to come play in Luzerne County, who would you want to bring in?
I would bring Thurman Munson because I used to catch, and I just thought he just did his job. He went in, did his job, no fanfare, and just a great player.
Jennifer Pecor is playing for Crocomo's team. She's the division head of operational services for Luzerne County.
We have a great team countywide. There isn't anyone at the county that we can't count on, rely on. We do really work well together, and so hopefully we're just as good of a team on the field as we are off of the field.
Do you feel extra pressure not only representing the county against Wilkes-Barre, but also as like maybe the only non-Yankees fan here to represent the Dodgers today?
No, I will be happy if I hit it out of the infield. I'm just here to have fun and do something outside of work with my friends from work. So.
If you were wondering, Hans works for the City of Wilkes-Barre's Department of Public Works, and while I'm sure he's pleased to be doing his part to make the mayor happy, there's someone else he's trying to impress.
That is my daughter, yes.
Was she proud of you today? Does she know, or she's just like, this is what Dad does?
I sure hope so, because she yells at me all day, every day. So I didn't get yelled at yet, so I think I'm good.
Kids are an important part of this chapter of local history that includes one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
We wanted to do something that we knew the Babe might be proud of himself, and so that's where the Children's Miracle Network comes in. The day that Babe Ruth visited Wilkes-Barre, he went to what was Mercy Hospital at the time in South Wilkes-Barre, and he visited children in the hospital. That hospital is now owned by Geisinger, and as a lot of folks know, Geisinger does so much for children's health issues here in the area. They have the Janet Weiss Hospital in Danville and the Children's Miracle Network, and so all the funds raised from the Derby, from participants and sponsors, will go to the Geisinger Children's Miracle Network and Janet Weiss.
With the big anniversary of Babe Ruth's giant home run just 2 years away, it seems the team at Visit Luzerne County is off to a great start getting the word out, and there's some important people that would agree with that statement.
I'm so proud that we got this done this year, and to have the blessing of the Babe Ruth family. We got a beautiful note the other day from Babe Ruth's grandson thanking us for doing this. We got their permission and their blessing to use his name and likeness to promote the event, and they loved the idea, and they sent us a nice note wishing us the best.
Everyone knows the name Babe Ruth, and now many more will know what he accomplished in Northeast Pennsylvania.
If you think about it, New York claims a piece of Babe Ruth because of the Yankees, the house that Ruth built, Monument Park, the retired jersey. He has history with the Red Sox because he was a fabulous pitcher for the Red Sox, won 3 World Series for the Red Sox, hold pitching records for the Red Sox. Chicago, they have, the called shot was at Wrigley Field. In Baltimore, there's a statue of Babe Ruth outside of Camden Yards because he was born in Baltimore. The Babe Ruth Museum is in Baltimore. So any place where they could claim a little piece of Babe Ruth, Cooperstown, of course, the Hall of Fame, they do it. And today's Wilkes-Barre's day to do it. So we're taking we're claiming our little piece of the Bambino today.
Coming up next on Out of Left Field, find out how the Schuylkill County Historical Society is helping educate the public about the 1925 Pottsville Maroons and how they're still fighting to get the team's NFL title return to Schuylkill County. Later, 2 athletes from our area talk about their goal of running a marathon in all 50 states and share some stories from their travels so far. If you've missed an episode of Out of Left Field, you can get caught up at ssptv.com.